It's official, you won't be able to carry a gun at the popular festival at SANDPOINT. We'll tell you why a judge ruled against the county and the sheriff's office. Plus,
my husband was at home with all the animals and calling neighbors for help.
Crews were sent scrambling to contain a fast-moving wildfire burning near Spangle. We'll have the latest on evacuations and homes threatened.
Wildfires in Washington aren't just creating smoky and hazy skies, but now we're starting to see reductions in air quality. The latest on those conditions.
helicopters, air tankers, and firefighters on the ground scrambled this afternoon to stop a fast-moving wildfire south of Spokane. The Heaton Road fire started near Spangle and quickly took off. And tonight, we have a crew out there with the newest information. Good evening, and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 11. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
Welcome everyone. I'm Regina On. Some breaking news that we have been following all night. Crews in the Spangle area continue to battle a vegetation fire there. Our Casey Decker joins us now with the latest updates.
Well, Regina, the fire has now grown to about 320 acres. Now, for reference, Riverfront Park, about 100 acres. It's now 40% trailed. That means they've kind of bulldozed or plowed a line around part of the fire, but at the moment, it is still 0% contained.
Currently, they're calling a fire what we're calling check the fire. That means that rapid forward spread has stopped. There are still maybe some forward spread, but the rapid forward spread has definitely slowed down.
Numerous agencies in the Spangle area tonight working to beat back a fire fueled by wheat and timber. The cause of the fire is still unknown. Multiple helicopters, an air tanker, and several smaller Fireboss planes on scene to stop the spread.
And the air resources help slow down that fire enough so the firefighters get around and start knocking it down.
Some structures are threatened. Level 3 evacuations, meaning leave immediately for about a half a dozen homes. But those downgraded to level 2, meaning be prepared to leave later in the evening. The smoke visible throughout southern Spokane County, making even those folks outside of the evacuation zone a bit nervous.
So the whole way the smoke was up, and I was just following it, hoping it wasn't at my house. When I turned the corner, I was happy it was over here and not this way, but my husband was at home with all the animals and calling neighbors for help.
Farmers nearby using tractors to plow lines in their fields and protect them. Windy conditions creating a challenge for firefighters. So too did dead wood from a previous fire, the Yale Road fire from a few years ago. But that fire also helpful because it caused there to be less fuel this go around. Now, some crews are continuing to fight this overnight. Of course, though, that's without the help of the aircraft. They'll be getting reinforcements in the morning. Reporting in Spangle, Casey Decker, KREM 2 News.
All right, Casey, thank you. And now to tracking several wildfires in our region. The Evan Canyon fire has burned almost 13,000 acres in Yakima County. Fire crews say it's quickly moving southeast. It's 0% contained, and there are level 3 and 2 evacuation orders in place. The fire is threatening at least 125 structures. 5 buildings have already been destroyed. In Orofino, fire crews are making progress on the Whitetail Loop fire. It's burned more than 450 acres and has destroyed 2 homes. Right now is threatening other structures in the area, and at last check, the fire is 15% contained. All right, we want to turn to weather now. Thomas, definitely in the news all night that we've been talking about those fire with those dry, breezy conditions. Will it be affecting firefighters' efforts?
Yeah, well, today was actually exceptionally breezy out there. Hopefully it's not quite this windy in the coming days, but I can attest that Casey and I were both covering that fire a little bit earlier this afternoon. And out there in the open plains in southern Spokane County, the wind does pretty much flow unabated. 29-mile-per-hour wind gusts, the maximum today, officially out at the airport. So say about 30 miles per hour most everywhere for this afternoon. And by the way, that smoke and that fire in the southern part of this county actually creating enough smoke and haze for a reduction in air quality. At 8 o'clock, I had tweeted it out that Spokane's Clean Air Agency was then at the time reporting unhealthy for sensitive groups. Since then, it has improved slightly, and it is better on some parts of town than others. And right now, those winds have calmed down significantly. No more 30 miles per hour, now just a gentle breeze at about 5 miles per hour for this evening. I think tomorrow the wind shouldn't be as bad. It could be breezy at times still, but the afternoon temperatures should still easily be in the 80s, and we'll be closer to record-breaking highs in the 90s later on this week.
All right, sounds good, Thomas. Thank you very much. New tonight, guns won't be allowed at the festival at SANDPOINT after all. A judge made that decision today, ruling against Bonner County and the Sheriff's Office. Here's what happened. Bonner County and the Sheriff's Office sued the city of SANDPOINT over the festival's policy to ban firearms at the popular concert series. It's a bit complicated, but the SANDPOINT Police Department and the city, they don't restrict the public from carrying guns at the festival. When we interviewed the SANDPOINT mayor last year, he said the city leases the property to the festival organizers, and it's under organizers' policy and their contract with vendors that issued those rules. Well, according to a judge in the case, Bonner County lacked standing to bring the matter before court as a subject of debate. The lawsuit cited Idaho law, which prohibits cities and municipalities from restricting gun possession on public property. Hard to believe, but the November election just 2 months away now, and there's no shortage of claims circulating online about mail-in or absentee ballots, including a claim about how to make sure the Postal Service processes your ballot quicker. Let's verify. The question comes from Chris. He writes, "Saw this on Facebook. Is it true? Adding a stamp to your postage-paid ballot will force USPS to handle it as first class instead of bulk. Please spread the word." Our sources to verify this claim are Chad Houck, Idaho's Chief Deputy Secretary of State, and Spokane County Auditor Vicki Dalton.
Is that true?
I'm going to answer that for the state of Washington, and the answer is no.
Washington is a vote-by-mail state, and just last year the state began prepaying the postage for all ballots. Dalton says adding additional postage in an effort to get your ballot back to the elections office quicker just isn't necessary.
Because with business reply, it's already first-class mail. So it is already being given priority. It's already being handled in the 2 to 5 day window.
So what about Idaho? While the May primary was conducted entirely through absentee ballot because of the pandemic, in November, Idaho voters will be able to vote in person at their polling place or absentee. If you vote absentee and request a ballot is mailed to you, elections officials recommend you check that the return envelope includes postage.
So Idaho statutes does not require the counties to pay return postage on ballots. It's not a statewide standard. However, the majority of the counties do actually provide that postage on there now.
Houck says if your return envelope does have postage, you don't need to add another stamp.
In Idaho, as in Washington, we utilize only first-class mail, both on the outbound and on the return. So any of our bulk rate prepaid postage meters that you're going to see are going to be already rated at that first-class mail rate.
So we can verify the claim that adding a stamp to your postage-paid envelope will force the USPS to handle your ballot as first class instead of bulk is false. And do you have something you'd like me to verify? Give me a call at that number on your screen, 509-838-7334, and I'll work to answer your questions. All right, still ahead tonight, cities across the country, including in Moscow, Idaho, have been testing a new way to track coronavirus in wastewater. And now Spokane leaders are considering it too. See what they say coming up next.